The name, image, and likeness landmark cases continue. Amari Bailey, who played 10 professional games in the NBA for the Hornets, is now seeking to return to college to play basketball. He is trying to become a landmark case for professional athletes returning to play at the collegiate or amateur level. So let's break this down. One, there is a rule against once you forfeit your amateurism, meaning once you declare for the NBA draft and what you sign a document that says I'm forfeiting my right to be considered an amateur and to play in college, the NBA says you're part of the NBA if they draft you. You can no longer play in college because you are now a professional. You are being paid. However, what's happening with name, image, and likeness is that amateur athletes or college athletes are being paid, which in essence makes them professional. In addition, the college basketball rules, the NCAA allows a professional who plays in Europe, in the European leagues, to play college basketball in the States. And there's also been cases of players who played in the NBA Development League, otherwise known as the G League, who are eligible for college basketball, even though they've been paid to play professional basketball here in the States. Other related cases, such as James Najayi, who was drafted by the Detroit Pistons, but never signed an NBA contract, was ruled immediately eligible. Charles Bediaku, who played for Alabama and who did play in the NBA G League, there was a temporary restraining order entered on his behalf to allow him to play in college again because he never played in the NBA. And there's actually an NBA champion named J.R. Smith, who once he retired from basketball, returned to get his college degree, but in the process asked for a waiver from the NCAA to play a different college sport, in this case golf, and he was allowed to do so. The major difference is that Amari Bailey is seeking to play college basketball after playing 10 games in the NBA, after signing an NBA contract, and after signing a document that says I'm waiving my amateurism. I'm no longer an amateur to play basketball. So the court's going to have to weigh the new name, image, and likeness laws, what status that bestows upon the college basketball players who are being paid to play, and whether or not that makes them professional, and then calls into question whether or not a professional can go back to college. Do we essentially have two professional basketball leagues now, the NCAA and the NBA? It remains to be an open question at this point. Landmark case is coming.